Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video. This one is packed with a bunch of different things. It starts with a fire scare with the biggest fire ever to hit Portugal, I think, coming pretty close to where we live and trying to prepare for that. Then it goes into trying to help with the fire. A bunch of friends get together with an IBC water tank and we go and try to put out some fires in a forest together. And then the video ends back inside the house, a lot calmer. Spoiler alert, the fires don't get to us. I don't like leaving people hanging on stuff like that. We go back inside the house and I do some work on plumbing stuff. Well, I begin thinking about plumbing stuff and I basically bash a hole in the wall. So there's a lot of different things here, some excitement. I take you right into a forest that's been burned out, so that might be interesting to some people. And yeah, it's been a tense week, but a really, really good, well, tense few days, but also a really good few days as well. It's always nice to see communities come together in times of need, and even though there has been a lot of devastation and it's awful, there's been really an outpouring of support from people, and at least in these tough times, at least there's that, and that's good to see. So I've put some links below to donate to the local firefighters of Bombeiros. I feel like that's a good way to donate to something that's going to help a lot of people. There's that link that's for my local area, and there's one that's for all of Portugal. So take a look at that, and if you have some spare money to throw their way, it's much appreciated by them and by all of us as well. And yeah, they do an amazing job. They work really tirelessly, and yeah, seeing them out there exhausted, it's inspiring. It's inspiring, and they've really kind of saved us at this time of year. So yeah, big thanks to those guys and gals. And yeah, it's been a weird time, but the fire is out, and hopefully it stays out. And yeah, they really came through. So enough of that stuff. The video is a long one, but it's a good one. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again at the end. Good morning, little guy. How you doing? I'll feed you in a minute, but don't go too far. I want the cats to stick around just in case I have to leg it, because right now there's a fire raging over on the other side of the gardenias. It's, I think, hit the top of it. It's by a village called Castelo Novo, which is quite near to me. Hey, little guy. You stay close too, okay? You guys stay close. I don't know if I'm going to end up chucking these guys in the car and going to my friend's place. But the car is ready. I'll probably add a few more things in today. I did this last night. Grabbed clothes and stuff, my most expensive tools, all of the power tools basically, and I might load it up with a few more things. I do feel like it seems a bit more under control today because the wind has died down. So last night there was crazy amounts of wind, and it's taken the fire just to the other side of the highway. And you'd think that'd be a good fire break, but yeah, the wind is picking up now. You'd think that'd be a good fire break, but these fires have jumped over highways in the past. So you just have to be vigilant. You have to be ready to go if you need to. And the fire on the other side of this thing is absolutely enormous and completely out of control. At least it was last night. At least now it's a lot less smoky. Yesterday you couldn't see anything at all. Had to drive all the way down to Castelo Branco before I saw blue sky. And today you can see it's clearer, and I hope that means that they can get the planes on the fire as well. So I'm just up. Sinead's gonna come up for a coffee in a minute. Let's just look at the olives while we're here. They're looking good. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep everybody informed of what's going on. And I'm gonna be paying a very close attention to all of my the apps that I have and things. One of the main problems is they're not really doing a great job of updating the apps. So it's a lot of communication just between people through message groups and things like that. So get ready to do a runner if we have to, but I feel pretty confident it's not going to get here. However, I definitely need to go knock on some wood after saying that. So yeah, it's the worst part about living in this area. Everything else I love, but the threat of fires is definitely not cool. Not cool, fires, not cool. So I'll keep you guys informed, and hopefully everything gets under control very soon. So it was a bit of a sleepless night last night. I'm feeling pretty tired, but it does seem like the fires are getting a little bit more under control. As I mentioned, it's kind of difficult to get updates, but some updates are coming in and it feels a lot less scary than it did last night. But you just have to keep monitoring the situation. So I can see a plume of smoke sort of coming up, but now it seems to have gone away. So I don't know what that's about, but I'll check the apps later on and see what's going on. But right now, I feel like I'm in for an easy, relaxing job that's also gonna help my place be a bit more fire safe. If a fire comes raging through here, there's probably nothing I can do, but it's all these little things that maybe it helps just a bit. So I have loads of unruly, crazy looking olive trees that have just grown tons of shoots at the bottom. And I feel like that's a perfect job for me today. Clip them down with the wonderful tool of joy. I can monitor the fire situation from outside, see what's going on, and also do some good work that's useful. So let's start with this crazy guy. This is one of the worst ones. It's gonna be extremely satisfying to do this, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm gonna use the green stuff. I'll put it in the wheelbarrow and use it as mulch. One thing I've noticed is the train off in the distance is still going by. I heard it this morning, and I suppose if the trains are still going, the trucks run all the way around there. Perhaps that's a good indication that things are doing okay. So I've got a great view of the mountain from here, and I'll just chop some trees and keep everybody updated. So that's looking much better. I hope you found that as satisfying as I did. I need to get the saw out to get some of the thicker stuff, and I think I'll approach that from the bottom on a ladder. There was a gust of wind earlier that blew over the wheelbarrow, but it's not actually that windy yet. It's just a gentle breeze with the occasional gust. So that's good news for fire stuff, which looks a little smokier than earlier. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. But what I do know is that I'm definitely coughing a lot, so even though today isn't anywhere as close to being as bad as the past couple of days for smoke, it's obviously still around and it's making everything a little bit coughy, I suppose. I don't think that's an adjective, but let's just go with that. So yeah, there's a couple more plumes coming up over there in the same spot as before. So I'll be curious to hop online and see what's going on. I can hear planes going, so that's good news. I don't think they could fly at all yesterday because of the smoke. So yep, I'm just gonna keep pruning some olive trees, keep checking on things, and keep you updated. But in the meantime, let's do another tree together. One that's looking really crazy, and I think this one is a fine candidate for a haircut. So she's looking loads better. I could probably do this all day just on this tree, making it perfect. It also needs a prune. I don't think I got to this one when I was pruning a couple months ago, but even though I'd love to power on working with the tool of joy, I just need to know when to stop. And I think I'll stop now. No. Now. Wait. Okay. Oh. All right. I'm walking away, guys. I'm walking away. So I'm going to carry on with the rest of the trees, and I'm going to end up with a massive pile of leaves, which I'll chop up small and use as mulch. I've got a couple of trees that could use a little bit more mulch, and I'm not sure how wise it is to put these olive branches onto the bottom of my trees, but I'd rather do that and keep the trees watered than have them in a big random pile that could just ignite really easily and turn into a bonfire. So that's my plan. I've got a lot more trimming to do of the trees, so I'm going to get on with that, and I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm back, and this tree has had its haircut, but this tree has not, and that's because everything is getting really, really smoky and a bit crazy. The sky is looking quite strange, and smoke seems to be gathering. I have managed to do many of the other trees on the terrace, most of them actually, and it's looking good, and I feel a little bit better about that. I've also removed the big pile of clippings from over here. Hello, little guy. How you doing? Don't you go far. And I've moved them over to here. I'll cut these up possibly later on tonight if I get a second wind, and I've added some mulch to these trees as well. So I'm not sure that putting mulch on the bottom of the trees was the best idea. It's sort of one of these things, it's like, do I leave them on the olive trees at the bottom, or do I just move them onto one consolidated location? And I'm really going to soak it down before I go to sleep tonight. But I actually do feel, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like things are going to be okay. At least for this evening. The fire is still on the other side of the highway, and it seems to be moving more south than more east towards us. So it's one of these things. It's good news for me, but bad news for somebody out there. So yeah, it's a tough thing, and it's just the season here. It's just the way they plant their monoculture crops. There's all kinds of theories about these fires, but what I can say is it's just a bummer, and it's just a crappy thing when it happens. So I've enjoyed working on this fairly mindless task for most of the day, and I think for now I'm gonna chill out for the rest of the evening, enjoy cuddling the cats, make a nice meal, and keep my eyes peeled on the fire apps. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, possibly for some building work, or possibly for some work down here, or possibly for evacuation. I'll keep you updated if anything happens in the night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Last night was really tense. There's a lot of information going around, some of it true, some of it false. Lots of people worried. You can see the smoke over on the horizon. Things are a lot clearer. And I think a lot of people were worried that the fire was right above a village called Alpedrinha, but in reality it's actually still over the highway, over the ridge, although it really has been quite hard to find reliable information. So the fire is still going, but judging from here, it does look a lot better than it did yesterday around this time. However, things seem to flare up in the evening when it gets more windy. But what can you do except for be prepared? So I'm gonna leave my place in a state of chaos. I'm gonna leave all the stuff in the car. Everything's everywhere. I don't know where anything is, but I think what I'll end up doing is just enjoying my coffee in this new sunflower mug that my aunt got me. Thanks, Auntie Bev. And speaking of sunflowers, actually, there is a crazy sunflower down there with a really insane face. So I've just noticed that, and it looks like it has other sunflower babies on the way. So that's brought me a little bit of joy this morning in this kind of crazy time. But I'm just gonna enjoy my coffee, and then we're gonna go inside the house because I can't actually use power tools outside, and so I'm not able to work on this tool shed foundation, even though the temperatures are a lot cooler now. So I'm gonna go inside, and I'm gonna work on the bathroom area and attempt to do a little bit of plumbing. So I'm gonna finish my coffee, I'm gonna get some tools together, try to get a bit more organized, and then we're gonna head into the bathroom for what I think is gonna be a really fun job.
This is the local fire brigade volunteer.
So change of plans. I'm not working on my bathroom. We're instead going to see if we can be of any use with this giant IBC tank and a lot of enthusiasm. Local community leaders put out a call for help for people to gather at a meeting point just in case the fires got close to the village. It wasn't likely to happen until the evening, and we were there at about 3 p.m. So we decided to have a snack, and then we drove around and found a place where we could be of use. So the planes are tackling the big fires that are on the mountains, but this is the issue with fires restarting. I guess the roots get burned, and then these little small fires keep starting and keep threatening things. So we're gonna get some buckets and see if we can tackle some of the smoky stuff in here. And we've just encountered some guys with a truck full of water who are just taking out a log that was flaming, and you can actually see up there's a tree that has a lot of smoke on it too. So yeah, it's just like little things, little smoky bits that hopefully we can try to extinguish and maybe be of a little bit of help. But it really is very, very surreal. Good morning, everybody, from a very windy day, which doesn't bode well for the fires. But as you can see, the horizon looks pretty close of smoke, at least close stuff. There's a bit of a haze. So that's good news, and nice to see. Hopefully the wind doesn't fire everything up again. Hello again from inside the house. Hello from the mezzanine. It's been ages since I've done any work inside, and it's been ages since I looked up here, and it's as terrifying as I expected. My plan originally was to put some piping through the wall, starting from the top of the mezzanine and going all the way to the other side. It's the same white piping as I've used for the shower, and then I'm going to run the pipes around to the kitchen eventually. But right now my plan is to try to get it through the wall and just plumb up the bathroom part. But because of the slope of the roof, if I were to drill through or take the stones out from up here, I would hit the clay tiles on the other side. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take out some rocks from down below and try to make a hole so I can get the pipes through the wall. I've already tried to do this down at the bottom of the wall unsuccessfully. I tried drilling from both the inside and the outside, but I met just a solid stone somewhere in between where I was trying to work. So it's kind of luck of the draw. Hopefully I don't have to disassemble too much of this wall. But fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed, I can get this done pretty quickly and get these pipes connected and ready to go. So I don't have the tool I need to crimp everything together, but I want to dry fit everything and prepare to plumb up the sink, and then I'll borrow the tool a little later on and get that done. But right now, I've got everything covered up down below, and I really want to get my clothes rack back in place so I can get all the stuff off of my bed, because my house is a complete disaster. I actually slept on the couch last night because we got home late from the fire stuff, and I just couldn't be bothered taking all the stuff off my bed, so I just had a snooze on the couch. Wasn't the most amazing snooze, so I'm a bit tired today, but it meant that I didn't have to take everything off and then redo it. So as usual, I'm just jabbering on. Let's get to work, let's make a hole in this wall, and I hope it goes as planned. Okay, I really hope I can get this done with the hammer and chisel, because I don't want to use the mega drill and make everything super dusty. This is dusty enough as it is, hence the mask. So this seems like a pretty good spot. Let's go. So you can see that I've got two big stones here. Don't really know what's going on here. This could be quite a large stone. There's a smallish stone in there, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it out. And there's some spaces. I don't need loads of space to get the pipes through. It's going to be two pipes, and they don't have to come through necessarily in the same location. So this looks promising here, that area. This, if I can get this out, that's going to be good. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep working away at it. Yeah, this one's wiggling, so I think that one will eventually come out. So I'm going to keep working away. I'll try to get this large stone out and then see what I'm dealing with. But I feel like it looks promising. However, it's quite difficult to film inside a hole, so let me see what I can get done, and I'll see you soon. Haha! Success! So actually, let's take another look inside here. So it looks like I've got another sort of wiggly one here, maybe. Lots of debris and dirt, which comes out really easily, obviously. And hopefully, that's not a giant rock right there. However, if I did need to drill this, it would only be going through the wall about maybe 40% of the wall. This is probably about 60% already done. And so I'm not too fussed about that. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll see you soon. Okay, this is where I'm at. And I'm really trying to break through using just this. But I'm afraid of hitting it too hard because I don't want it to get stuck. So maybe you can see there's sort of a hole back there. And I have a plan. It's time to bring out the big guns. And here it is, the big gun, I guess. I really want to try to avoid using the drill because it's going to be way too dusty. So let's see if I can get this done with this beast. I can feel it. It feels like we're almost there. I have no idea what to expect on the other side. Hopefully I don't end up pushing out a gigantic rock with the iron bar. But it seems pretty crumbly, so I'm hoping I found a space between these crazy rocks. But it's always a surprise, and it's often that things don't really go as you expect. Frustratingly enough. Okay, so I think just a little bit more. Well, I feel like I got pretty far through this thing, but it's being stubborn. So I guess I'll use the drill, and I think it'll be fine because it's only, I think, a teeny tiny bit of the wall that it still has to go through. So let's give that a try. So I always seem to get these drill bits stuck at the most inopportune moments. I've got it on just the hammer setting. I'm hoping that will help with it not getting stuck. So, let's see. So I think there is just a giant stone there. That's annoying. I might just have to drill through it. It does seem to want to get stuck when I'm using the hammer setting. So let me try the screwdriver setting with the hammer. And fingers crossed. I really hope this works because I'm getting fed up with this. Man! Whew! Well, that was brutal, but it's through. So let's go take a look what's happening on the other side. So this is the pipe that I'm going to use. I'll definitely need to buy more in order to go all the way around to the kitchen eventually. And I've got a piece of scrap pipe that I'm going to use to see if it'll fit through the hole. I've got 2 pipes, so I'll need 2 holes. And let's see if I can even find where this is. Where are you? So it'll be down here. A little bit more, I think. Hopefully just under the level of the tiles. So the shower probably ends around there. Bathroom sink. Somewhere up here, I guess. Is it you? I think it is. Or maybe not. Or is it you? Let's just stick some pipe in here and see what happens. Nope, maybe here. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking it's this, and maybe it's not wide enough. So let's return inside to see if there's any evidence of this pipe sticking through. And I don't see anything, so I got the wrong hole, but I've got this zip tie, and if I can get this to go through, maybe I can see it sticking out from the other end. Okay, back we go. Wow, this is quite faffy and tedious, I must say, so let's hope I can see the zip tie. There it is. All right. Great news. And it looks like I could, if I wanted to, dig out a little bit more of the stones around there. I'm really happy it didn't come directly through the middle of a piece of granite, so I can work with this. I can probably remove stuff on either side and make space for 2 pipes. Well, that took ages, and it was very hot and sweaty work, and I'm extremely tired. So tired, in fact, that I totally forgot to film cutting the pipes and putting them in the holes. But you know what? That's okay with me because I have lots of pipe cutting in my future. I'm gonna try to plumb up, I think, the entire area all the way around to the sink. So I might end up doing that in my next video if I can get to the plumbing store and get everything I need. Right now I have a decent amount of length of pipe, but I don't think I have enough fittings, so I'm gonna have to pick up some more stuff. But the video is gonna end very soon because I still have to empty my car and tidy up the abomination that is my house and try to get everything back to the way it was. But because I'm so exhausted, I'm definitely gonna do this the fast way with a snap. But before I do that, this is where the pipes have come through. And this, I think it's called multi-camada in Portugal. It's flexible, and it's allowed me to sort of sneak my way through a hole that's not exactly straight. So that's been a lifesaver. And I'll talk about all the plumbing stuff in my next video. But right now, I've got a lot of cleaning to do, and we're gonna do it the snappy way. Okay, snappy. That's all done. It's looking a million times better. I've cleaned up all the debris from the floor. The bathroom area is a lot nicer looking. Washed the floor. Obviously, I'm going to be getting in here again and working in a couple days, but this is all going to be easy to just take off and put box by box onto my bed, which is also looking a lot better. Couch area still needs some work. I'm not even going to show you the kitchen. My broom probably needs, I probably need a new broom. Definitely 100% need a new broom. In there is scary, but outside is lovely, and I finally unloaded the car. So it's been a pretty long day after a long day yesterday, and just a few tense long days. Having a fire just over the mountain is obviously stressful, but it's really far from us, and I think you can take precautions, but until you have the fire coming right up close to your land or even passing through your land, I'll never really understand how scary it actually is and how stressful it actually is, because even having it pretty far away, it really isn't a nice feeling, and yeah, I really can't imagine how terrible that must be. So my heart goes out to everybody out there that's been affected, that's had to deal with that. It's really tough. I think the fire near us was possibly the biggest fire in Portuguese history by hectares burned, and if it wasn't, it was close to it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. But hopefully we've got some rain coming soon, and hopefully the cooler weather will reduce the possibility of fires. So I'm really happy I got the hole in the wall today and those pipes through. It really motivates me to continue working on the plumbing. So that's going to be my next job that I do. And yeah, getting the bottom terrace trimmed and a little bit more fire safe was something that I wanted to do as well. So I'll probably continue working on that when I have some spare time and if I just want a mindless task, because it is something that I really enjoy doing. But overall, I'll be working back in the house, on the bathroom area, and on the plumbing. And I might even try to buy the pipes that go all the way around to the kitchen. Because if I can just turn the water on in the kitchen and have hot and cold right there, that's going to be a massive improvement, as well as having hot and cold water in the bathroom as well as having water in the bathroom as well. So I'm really exhausted. It's quite hot out here, and I'm gonna wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've put some links below to places that you can donate if you'd like to support the amazing work that the Portuguese firefighters do. It really is a worthy cause, and yeah, we're sort of ever grateful for them at this time of year. So if there's any bomberos out there watching, thanks guys, amazing work, and I hope any donations are helpful to you and your cause. So that's all for me. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.